Hi everybody, we're here with Mrs. White and I've just had a lesson with her today and surprise, surprise, Peter has popped in. Say hi. So Peter's also a very old, well not very old, but an old student of Mrs. White's, but you're not very old.
No.
You're very young. And I wanted to chat with Mrs. White about the tongue because I've been promising that we would do a little bit on the tongue and how that plays out in our voices.
Well, you've got to remember that it's a physical instrument. Every part of the human body is involved in making voice. And one of the smallest but most important parts in our instrument is the tongue. It lies in the mouth and is connected to the top of your larynx here in your trachea. And if it doesn't get in the way, you have no trouble with the tongue.
I'm not that lucky.
But the problem is that lots of people have a tongue that doesn't want to behave itself.
No, that's one of mine.
And a lot of tension comes into the tongue. We try to support our voice with the tongue and the jaw, and also it's mostly because we don't have correct breath support. So you have to have the right support from your breath to make the tongue behave itself. So what does the tongue do wrong? Gets in the way.
And how sometimes it lifts at the back, doesn't it?
That's right, and that's tension in the back of the tongue. So when you come to learn singing, you have to do tongue exercises to teach the tongue to behave itself. It moves up and down all the time when we're changing vowels, and it's very important for making consonants. But if it gets stress and tension in it, it creates this ball of hardness in the back of your throat. It will also push down your epiglottis, which is a little tissue attached to the back of the tongue, which falls down over the top of your larynx every time you swallow anything. Water, food has to be kept out of your lungs. And so this little tissue falls down over the top and closes your throat. But it will fall down when you're singing if you let your tongue fall backwards. So the tip of the tongue has to be taught to stay touching behind your lower teeth on your teeth. So it moves up and down, la 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 la, but when you're singing a vowel, it must stay still, touching behind your bottom teeth.
And I know with me, the tongue tension then creates jaw tension.
Yes, it does, because it's
all
connected.
linked, isn't it?
All connected.
So if you're singing and you're getting tight jaw, check your tongue, check your breath.
Yes,
it's very important.
They're the two things. And then if you can get your tongue and jaw to nicely relax, this will all then be balanced and you'll get a good sound.
Yeah.
But the problem with the tongue is that it will tend to make you start to sing in your throat. And you'll hear people singing in their throats and their tongue dropping backwards.
Yeah.
You can't get the sounds to come forward.
Yeah, it's that sound, isn't it?
And you can hear it in the back of your throat.
Yeah.
Some languages tend to make you want to drop back to French and German, who've got sounds that are made with the back of the tongue. But you have to be careful that you don't let this give you what we call glottal attacks. So we go into a further thing. But
it's never ending.
But with the tongue, if you just remember, keep it forward, keep it relaxed, let it just sit in the back of your mouth. And don't depress it, don't push it up, just let it sit there. So when you let the jaw drop down, down goes the jaw and the tongue.
And you're getting this sense of, with your top notes, the tongue is flat and the top is lifting.
That's right.
That's what you're supposed to be feeling.
The internal muscles begin to lift, begin to go into a shape like that inside at the top. And the tongue is just sitting nicely frontal like that. But it does go up and down. It doesn't keep still, depending upon the vowel you sing. Very interesting.
Peter, have you had tongue issues in your career?
I'm sure I've had plenty of tongue issues. Yes. But Pat's done a great job trying to sort them out.
Yeah. Oh, she's the master.
Yeah.
That's why, she's on the YouTube channel now.
To this.
She's on the YouTube channel.
It's extremely interesting because the physical side of your voice is, if you just don't do anything with it, like children, if you just sing naturally, then the voice is natural. But it's when we start to get older, we start to mimic other singers, we start to try to make different sounds, then we start doing things with the tongue
Yeah.
that are incorrect.
Yeah.
Sometimes just the tongue itself is naughty. You have a very naughty tongue.
That's me. That's
I
me.
used to have a naughty tongue when I was young, and it would always fall backwards, and it's very hard sometimes to get it to come forward. Takes quite some time if you've got a naughty tongue to teach it.
Well,
to come forward.
I'm not even aware that I'm doing it sometimes.
That's
you
right.
know, and it's you're hearing it. You're hearing that tongue
Well,
sound.
that's why you need somebody to listen to you sometimes. That's why you need a
Absolutely.
guide.
Yeah, absolutely.
Teacher is a guide.
Yes.
A teacher doesn't teach you, the teacher guides you.
Yes,
And you have
exactly.
to do it all yourself.
Exactly. All right. Well, that's great. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I think everyone's going to really enjoy that. And stay tuned for our next little chat soon. Bye.
Bye.